Alright guys, welcome back to another Omnia video where we're going to be talking about what is going on the War of the Visions mobile game, because they made an announcement last night via a live stream and an in-game notice that you are looking at right now, basically saying that the global and the Japanese versions for War of the Visions is going to combine and is now going to be the worldwide version. Now, they have decided to unify our Japanese and global team to create a smoother development environment and bring our global players new content so they don't have to wait as long to enjoy new experiences. We believe this boost to our development capabilities will allow us to deliver a better game experience for all. So it's a very interesting choice. I do not know if there has been other mobile games who have both a global and a JP version that have combined at some point throughout its life cycle, but like this is the first that I have ever heard of a mobile game actually doing this, and they probably do have their reasons as to why they are doing this. Now, I was watching a video earlier this morning by one of the War of the Visions content creators, ONJ. I will link his video down in the description of this video, but I wanted to hear what some of the content creators for this game, like what they thought about this change, like how they felt about this change, etc., etc. And I was listening to some of his points. I was just like hearing out like how he actually felt about this change, and I actually took down some notes from what he was saying in his video. Again, if you want to check that out, click the link in the description below. But basically, like, what's going to be happening to War of the Visions, and why I'm bringing this up for Omnia, is because, like, when it comes to global and JP DFFOO, like, we have about a 6-month gap. So the question is, if something like this were to happen to Omnia, like, one, how long would it take for global to actually catch up to JP? Two, would this actually benefit us all together, both global and JP, where maybe we can actually have more events, maybe we can have more newer character releases in the future, maybe some potential collaborations could happen between, like, maybe other Square Enix mobile titles. Like, there's a lot to it that when it comes to, like, the possibilities that this could also happen to Omnia, because again, like, there are pros to this, there are some cons to this. Some players might be down for it, some players might not be down for it. But before we get into some of those pros and cons for Omnia, I do want to at least tell you guys some of the points that was mentioned in ONJ's video. So there is a big change, like you see on the screen, that was announced during a War of the Visions live stream and a producer letter, which is on the screen. So when it comes to the servers, the JP and the global servers are going to remain separate, meaning that when it comes to any type of like co-op or whatever it is that they do in that game, they will not be encountering anybody from a different server. So global players will remain with global players, JP players will remain with JP players. Now, the reason why they are doing this is because they want to align future scheduled releases between both versions. The reason why they are doing this is due to JP's storyline being spoiled to global players, and the same goes for characters. Now, before I move on to the other points, it's from a business standpoint, I can see why they decided to do this, because of course this lovely thing that global players have, that is such a big benefit to them, to saving their resources, saving up for whatever like crazy good character is going to be coming later down the line. Like, for any gacha game that has like a difference in timeline between two versions, like, you have the power of foresight. So with that, that, you are able to plan out what you're going to be pulling for in the future. You actually get to take a peek at what is going on to the version that is ahead of the other version. So like there is a whole lot to it when it comes to why they decided to actually combine both versions so that they can have future releases at the same time. And again, I can see that from a business standpoint. Obviously, for it being a gacha game, like they want to make their money, and that's perfectly understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business for them, and we are the customers. So the customers, regardless if you buy something or not, regardless if you are free to play, if you pay for stuff, if you pay for in-game content, like at the end of the day, like we're all pretty much going to be like chasing for the exact same thing, which is pretty much like the content, the gacha, so on and so forth. So yeah, I can see as to why they decided to basically have everything released at the same time for both versions. Now, according to Jay and his sources that he knows from Square Enix, War of the Visions is making Square Enix a lot of money. So this decision wasn't because the game isn't profiting. Now, I can't say if that is true or not. Like, just based off of the numbers that you would normally see that tends to get posted on Reddit, maybe in some of our communities, on Discord, and so on and so forth. Sometimes there tends to be some posts showing off the, I guess, like the estimated revenue that a gacha game has made throughout a specific timeline, throughout, let's say, last month, so on and so forth. And when I take a look at some of these, some of the numbers that War of the Visions has been making, yeah, I mean, they are making some pretty good money, and they are pretty steady when it comes, like the flow of revenue for War of the Visions for both versions is pretty steady and pretty good. I mean, you're gonna have your ups and down months, but that's normal for any type of business. But when you take a look at Opera Omnia, currently right now, to be 100% transparent, Global is carrying JP right now in terms of revenue, because JP's revenue is not looking too pretty compared to what the global version and what global players are spending within global default. So yeah, at the moment, like the revenue is not like the hottest, but I guess we are still okay. I mean, unless a end of service notice all of a sudden appears on either of the two versions, then you know, that will state otherwise. But again, these numbers, I can't confirm for it to be 100% true. Or if they are true, then I mean, it could be a slight concern, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, if they are going to continue to release content, and if they're already like planning out for like future releases, like they have recently on the JP side, they pretty much like threw a half of a schedule, because we still don't know exactly what the other half is going to be, but they already have scheduled events for the month of August, or at least we know we're good up to August, and then I guess we'll see afterwards what is gonna be happening in the future. But I feel like combining both versions could potentially be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. And the bad part about it is mostly for those who love the fact that you are able to see what is going to be coming up in months ahead, because you are paying attention to the other versions. So yeah, foresight is a big thing for a lot of global players. Like, a lot of global players have admitted to stating that it is very important to them. It helps them on planning their pulls. It helps them to make sure that they have enough resources to pull on said banners, so on and so forth. Even though recently Global did decide to make a pretty big change, which is more than likely hurting a lot of players' resources, because they are now changing around the events that originally happened in JP. Now it's going to be like all over the place for the global version. So like at this point, we don't even know what the heck is going to be coming out. I think for story-wise, Story-wise, on the global version, I do feel like they will keep that at the same set schedule that JP has. But when it comes to like everything else, so like let's say like IWs, raids, heretics events, so on and so forth, I feel like that is going to be something that they are going to mix around here and there. And this month is a perfect example, because like we have 2 6 warrior quests for the month of June, and normally we have a 6 warrior quest every other month, just kind of like how they do with story. So yeah, it's crazy how they are going about it on the global version. And I don't know if they are just trying to either increase their profits from players, because they know that a lot of these characters that drop for this month are some pretty big characters that a lot of players have been waiting for, or they are trying to maybe potentially speed up the process of how many events are gonna be dropping to the global version, so that maybe, just maybe, here in like the next few months, they may consider doing the same thing that is gonna be happening to War of the Visions. So, I mean, look, at this point, like, I wouldn't be surprised if like I won't be surprised at what happens now, especially on the global version, because on JP we have no idea what the heck is happening. At least on global default as of right now, we have some kind of an idea of what's to come, but like it could change just like that once we find out what is going to be dropping when the next or when future community live streams airs, and we find out what's going on. So yeah, again, like there are a lot of pros, there are a lot of cons to this. It just depends on, like, I guess you yourself as a player, and like how you feel about like the possibility that this could potentially happen for Opera Omnia. But again, this is just me speculating. This is not me saying like it's going to happen. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. This is more so of like, what if this actually what if Square Enix, what if the dev team decided to actually do the same thing for Opera Omnia? Now, the last 2 things that I do want to note that will two of these, or these last 2 are actually going to be very important, especially for Opera Omnia's sake. So, War of the Visions, they when it comes to their anniversaries, it is on separate months. So, when you look at Opera Omnia, both global and JP, we share the same anniversary month on on February. So if by chance that were to happen, where all of a sudden they decided to combine both the global and the JP version in terms of releases and whatever else they want to do, then yeah, we would technically in a way be kind of losing an anniversary, but not really. I mean, unless they decided that they want to do like maybe like a big download celebration, maybe they wanted to do maybe they want global players to celebrate some of the Japanese holidays that they tend to have. Like take example, what is it? Golden Week would be like one of the big ones that the JP version tends to have, like a lot of things happening for JP players. Maybe that's something that they would actually consider sharing with the global version. Like whatever other holidays it is that they have in Japan, like there's a chance that maybe they can consider sharing the same things as well. What they also could do for Opera Omnia, if they decided to combine both versions, is to potentially have, like, let's say a half anniversary. So right now on on global, we are on the 5th year, JP's on the 6th year. So let's say, I don't know, like September or something like that. Not even September, like I would say like August, right? We have a 5.5 anniversary, right? And for JP, it would be a 6.5 anniversary. So, something like that to kind of like keep the interest high for Opera Omnia players would be a good thing. But because we do share the same anniversary month, I don't know how they would actually do that. And then finally, the last thing that I wrote down from Jay's video is the fact that now they will not have any global exclusives on War of the Visions. So because of that, if they decide to do what War of the Visions is doing, then then that means that Global will not have any more global exclusives, because now it is going to be shared between both versions, which is a bummer, because like a lot of the things that that Global has, there are some things that Global has that JP still does not have to this day. Like when it comes to the party that global players use whenever they complete a quest, that button on the bottom left hand side of the screen, yeah, JP doesn't have that. What else? Dare to Defy. I mean, Dare to Defy has, if I'm not mistaken, and quote me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I know we've had Abyss in JP, but I do not believe we have had Dare to Defy just yet on the JP version. So there are a lot of things that Global could share with JP, and the same goes for JP to Global. So I mean, yeah, the loss of Global exclusives would suck, but I mean, it opens the door for more possibilities. So I am curious to see what you guys think about the big change that is happening to War of the Visions. I made a community post earlier this morning, and I shared this same screenshot just to see what you guys think overall about this. But I said that I was going to make a video just adding my overall thoughts on what's happening over there. Like, for me myself, the way that I see it, I think it's going to hurt pool planning for a lot of players, but like the fact that they and this is going off of Jay's video, but like they do mention that this opens up more opportunities for the team to be able to just drop like maybe potential like new events, new this, etc. Like the possibilities open up a whole lot more because of the fact that they are able to release any of these new possibilities to both versions at the same time. So I mean, the possibilities of that happening to Opera Omnia, if by chance they decide to do the same thing and combine both versions of Opera Omnia, then there's a possibility that could happen as well. But I am curious to see what you guys think overall. Let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is not a video stating that this is happening to Opera Omnia. This is something that is going on right now in another gacha game that is handled by Square Enix. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one.